You water your plants, you give them sunlight, and they reward you with massive, sprawling green leaves. But when you look closely underneath all that foliage, there is nothing to harvest. Not a single tomato or pepper. It is a frustrating scenario, but a plant can be completely healthy and growing vigorously while still failing to reproduce. This happens when a hidden environmental blocker signals the plant to prioritize growth over fruit. To fix this, we are going to walk through a 5-step garden productivity audit. This system is designed to diagnose exactly what is missing in your beds and guide those stubborn plants to start producing. You only need 3 things to complete this audit: the packaging for your current fertilizer, a standard cotton swab, and a bag of organic compost. Avoid applying every fix at once, as that can stress the plants further. By testing these steps sequentially, you can isolate the specific bottleneck holding back your harvest. Step 1 is the nutrient check. Plants rely heavily on nitrogen, which is the primary biological driver for growing lush green leaves. Take a look at this animated diagram of a standard fertilizer label. It highlights the NPK ratio, which stands for nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Nitrogen is always that first number. If you are using a fertilizer where that first number is the highest, you are feeding the plant a high nitrogen diet. Now the diagram splits to show how the plant uses that energy. On the left, a heavy dose of nitrogen tricks the plant into staying stuck in the grow bigger stage, sending all its energy up into the leaves. It never gets the signal to transition into the make fruit stage, which requires the phosphorus and potassium shown on the right. If your fertilizer is heavy on that first number, stop using it on your fruiting crops immediately. Swap it out for a blend that has less nitrogen and higher amounts of phosphorus and potassium. Balancing these specific macronutrients cuts off the signal for infinite leaf growth. The plant's energy is forced to shift away from simply expanding its size and into the hard work of reproduction. Step 2 is the pollinator assist. The main symptom to look for here is a plant that produces plenty of yellow flowers, but then those blooms dry up and drop off before a single vegetable forms. This occurs when your garden lacks an active population of bees, butterflies, or even a strong breeze. Without those natural forces to move pollen from one bloom to another, the fertilization process stalls. This generated macro video shows the exact technique to fix it. Take a simple cotton swab and gently brush it against the yellow center of an open flower to collect the pollen. Then carry that swab to another flower on the plant and dab it right in the center. This manual intervention bypasses a broken ecological step. You are artificially jump-starting the fruiting process that nature missed. Step 3 is the sunlight audit. Almost every fruiting vegetable in your garden has a strict biological requirement. They need a minimum of 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight every single day. Producing a tomato or a cucumber requires a massive amount of energy. If a plant is sitting in partial shade, its solar panels, the leaves, are only generating enough energy to keep the plant alive. There is zero energy left in the budget to build fruit. Spend a day tracking the shadows cast across your garden beds. If your plants fall short of that 6-hour mark, you can alter their environment by trimming back overhanging tree branches or relocating the crop to a brighter zone. Maximizing that direct sun exposure provides the plant with the critical surplus energy it requires to start building heavy vegetables. Step 4 requires looking below the soil line. We need to assess the texture and density of the dirt packed around the base of the stem. Look at this side-by-side comparison. On the left is depleted soil, hard, compacted earth that dries out instantly and suffocates the root system, preventing it from pulling up water. On the right is the target, loose, dark soil that holds moisture. To fix compacted earth, grab your bag of organic compost. You want to heavily top-dress the struggling plants by spreading a thick layer of the compost directly over the soil surface at their base. As you water the garden, that compost works its way down. It physically breaks up hard compaction, holds onto moisture longer, and feeds the microscopic organisms that support healthy root development. Restoring the structure of your soil removes the subterranean friction that stops nutrient uptake. It creates the physical foundation your plants need to finally deliver heavy yields. The 5th and final step is the temperature check. If you suddenly see your blossoms dropping right in the middle of summer, check your thermometer. Prolonged heat waves or nighttime temperatures staying above 75 degrees Fahrenheit are common triggers. This is a built-in defense mechanism. When a plant overheats, it intentionally aborts its flowers to conserve water and nutrients. The plant prioritizes its own survival over reproduction. This video demonstrates a mitigation strategy. You can pull a sheer dark shade cloth over a simple hoop structure above your plants during the hottest parts of the day. Artificially lowering the ambient temperature underneath that canopy sends a clear biological signal. It tells the plant that the heat threat has passed, making it safe to resume fruiting. Nutrient levels, pollination, sunlight, soil structure, and temperature. Addressing these specific garden bottlenecks shifts the plant from survival mode into active production. Once you correct that hidden factor, the results are rapid. As seen in this time-lapse, empty stems will finally erupt with fast-growing, harvest-ready vegetables. A failing harvest is rarely a sign of a bad gardener. It is typically a predictable biological response to a misaligned environmental factor. Now that you know how to fix production blockers, you need to protect your foundation. Click the video on your screen right now to learn about the single biggest soil mistake that quietly ruins most home gardens.